Card na hÉireann is mór an anura é domsa fáilte chur romh chuig an imeacht speisialta seo lá féile páric. Ladies and gentlemen, my name is Owen Feeney. I'm Ireland's Consul General to New South Wales, and it's an honour to welcome you this evening to Ireland House, Sydney. Thank you for joining us. At the outset, I would like to acknowledge the traditional custodians of the land, the Gadigal people of the Eora Nation here in Sydney, and pay my respects to their elders, past, present, and emerging. It was about this time last year that we started to see the impact of the pandemic here in Australia and in Ireland. Indeed, St. Patrick's Day events here in Sydney were some of the last big events before everything was curtailed. The intervening year has been a really tough one, and we've seen thousands of Irish people leave Australia. But it's also been a year in which we have seen the Irish community come together here in a way I think we probably never imagined before, to look out for and to help one another and really rally around those in need. We saw incredible fundraising efforts for the Irish Support Agency and their sister organisations across Australia. And more recently, we had the Irish Support Agency's Balias Balia initiative, which really looked out for those who might be isolated or vulnerable over the holiday period and succeeded in bringing the community together. A year on, though, there are signs of hope as well that we can look to. Vaccinations are being rolled out across Ireland and Australia. And in many ways, we're able to enjoy the best of what Aussie life has to offer here in Sydney. We are starting to see hopeful signs like the GA season returning, being able to have concerts for St. Bridget's Day. And these are important opportunities for us to reconnect with each other. They also give us hope as well. And I'm mindful that this is a time when we're probably feeling more cut off than ever from our family and friends in Ireland. I'm confident that Ireland and Australia will recover strongly from the pandemic. I think the two countries will support each other. We have such strong connections when it comes to our people, to our culture, to our history, and more recently to our trade as well. And there are positive signs out there. Even during the pandemic, trade between Ireland and Australia increased by 15%. And I really have no doubt that there'll be lots of people travelling again between Ireland and Australia, both ways, once travel is possible. This St. Patrick's Day, we have been looking at the question of Irish identity in Australia. What does it mean to be an Irish Australian? And we've been asking this question to young people, young Aussies, who we like to call Generation Green. And in a second, I'll introduce you to Generation Green. But first, I'd like to introduce An Taoiseach Micheál Martin.
A Card Gael is Card na hÉireann san Austráil, is cúis áthaisteam benachtaí is dachaí na féile podrig a chuir chuimh. Is trá anna speisialta é seo do Gael fud na crinne, agus níos speisialta fós, beidir díse atá chofhada ó éiring is atá an pobl fin grish ó Yas. It is my pleasure to send my warmest best wishes for St. Patrick's Day to the Irish community and Friends of Ireland in Australia, one of the largest of our diasporas. I know that the Irish community who dwell under the Southern Cross, while one of the furthest away in distance, is one of the strongest in affection for Ireland. This has been a most difficult and challenging year for everyone. Many of you have lost loved ones to this dreadful pandemic. You have been unable to travel home to spend time with family and friends. I know so many of you have missed important milestones, Christmas, birthdays, weddings, and sadly, even funerals of loved ones. Your forbearance and sacrifice is strongly appreciated, and your efforts to keep us all safe have paid dividends. I want in particular to acknowledge and to thank the many Irish who have helped lead the fight against COVID-19, our dedicated health workers at home, but also the many Irish doctors and nurses, research scientists and public health officials working in the Australian health system. Relations between Australia and Ireland are excellent at all levels, including our people-to-people links and our political and economic ties. This year, we mark 75 years of diplomatic relations between Ireland and Australia. This is an important milestone. Of course, the relationship between our peoples began long before that, Over 2 centuries ago, Irish men and women began arriving as part of the colonisation process. Some willingly, some not so willingly. Many thousands of Irish have travelled to Australia since, playing a full part in creating today's vibrant Australia. And so let me conclude as I started by wishing all of you a happy St. Patrick's Day. We in Ireland are thinking of you all far away and hoping and looking forward to the day in the near future when we can welcome you home. Until then, Verbua, Benacht, agus go raibh míle maith agaibh go léir.
This St. Patrick's Day, the Consulate is asking, what does it mean to be an Irish Australian? What does it mean to have Irish heritage in Australia? At the end of last year, we reached out to community leaders here in Sydney to ask them to nominate young Aussies born around the turn of the millennium with Irish heritage. And we got an incredible range of young Australians from all walks of life, but with one thing in common, that they all have Irish heritage. We've brought together their stories in an exhibition we're calling Generation Green. And you can check out this exhibition at the Rocks here in Sydney, down at Circular Quay. It runs until this Sunday, until the festival, the St. Patrick's Day Festival. Make sure you get to check it out. And if you can't get to the Rocks, have a look at their stories on the Consulate website. In the meantime, here's a little snippet of some of their experiences and stories.
Hey, I'm Greg Eccles.
My name's Roisin Murphy.
I'm Felix McFedrin.
I am Liam Costello.
I'm Tiger.
And I'm Angel. And we're twins. We have quite a bit of Irish on our grandfather's side.
From Galway?
No.
What county called?
You're so bad, Tiger.
I'm a surfer, and I want to surf in Ireland. Irish surf looks gnarly.
I'm of Aboriginal and Irish heritage, which might be a surprise.
In 2018, I won my first world title, then won it again in 2019.
You're a bit greedy.
A little bit.
I think it's definitely a bit of that Irish blood in me. Just really, creating memories, because in the end, that's what you got.
Love Lankum. Fontaines DC, my favourite band. They're a really cool Dublin band. Oh God, yeah, I'd give anything to see them play in Dublin.
Togaboge, which means take it easy. Yeah, I think so.
Earlier this year, we marked the feast day of Ireland's matron saint, St. Bridget, and we were channeling Bridget's power of healing. We had 2 wonderful concerts by the Prank Queens, directed by Anya Dupuer, and it was a celebration of Irish women through culture, through music, poetry, and the spoken word. And we are delighted now to be able to show you some highlights from those 2 concerts at Consulate and at the Gaelic Club here in Sydney.
Oh, and yeah, thank you for that. I would also like to, at the outset, acknowledge the traditional custodians of the land, the Gadigal people of the Eora Nation, and pay my respects to their elders, past, present, and emerging. And thank you, Tammy. promised you guys you were in for a treat, and we certainly were treated today. Such a beautiful performance. Thank you to all our wonderful musicians, writers, poets. That was really beautiful and indeed healing. So thank you so much.
St. Patrick's Day is an opportunity to celebrate new and diverse culture and creativity coming out of Ireland. So I'm really delighted that next we're going to be able to share with you a little bit of cultural inspiration from Ireland.
Classic and contemporary Irish voices combined for this enchanting performance of Clannad's seminal In a Lifetime, as Moya Brennan duets with Denise Chyla, who reprises the lines sung by Bono on the original. For this special performance of their song Dynamite, the enchanting harmonies of Saint Sisters Gemma Doherty and Morgan McIntyre are accompanied by musicians from Crash Ensemble in the glorious setting of Derry's Guildhall.
I guess it's time we talked about the funny way you move your mouth when you look at me. was crying when you said, okay, let's talk. Darling, what did you expect? My lover hasn't noticed yet what's happening. I don't wanna watch the train, always heavy or more rain and dynamite. Walk me to the northern end of Cable Street and I'll pretend it's meant to be. Passers-by do not react when you give me a heart attack. I will my best. Never mind what people say, I'll talk to you whatever way I want to. Something about last night is doing something to the light. Let's call it dynamite. Through it all, the narrow way, all I do is take and take and make shapes with it. Hard to recall what we said last. I remember, go to bed, lose happy night. Every move becoming shorter. Follow me into this corner. Ask me how we got here. I made a note of all our crimes and wondered how we find the time for dynamite.
Ladies and gentlemen, on behalf of myself and the team at the Consulate, thank you for joining us this evening in this virtual celebration of St. Patrick and Ireland's National Day. If you've enjoyed this evening, have a look at the website ireland.ie. We really hope to see you at the festival on Sunday, and if we don't see you there, that we get to catch up with you again in person very soon. Lá, fáilte póric, Sunna Díobh go léir.